Ben Hecht. Anybody recognize that name? Okay, well, a couple of people. Ben Hecht won the Oscar, the Academy Award, for Best Original Story for his movie Underworld in 1927. It was the first gangster movie. It was just a couple of years later, 1929, when his Broadway show debuted, The Front Page. Huge success, huge success. To give you an illustration of just how successful that show was, it has been revived on Broadway 4 times, as recently as just a few years ago. It has been adapted for film 4 times. It has been produced on television 4 times and adapted as a radio play 3 times. I guess the radio people didn't get the memo. That was 1929, a pair of successes rare to any writer. And then 1932, his film Scarface, if Underworld was the first gangster movie, Scarface set the standard for that genre. Scarface, very popular in spite of the fact that it was censored because it glorified violence. That was in April of 1932. In December of 1932, his new play was to open on Broadway. His new play entitled The Great Magoo. Expectations were through the roof. Ben Hecht's new play, The Great Magoo. I want to tell you a little bit about the storyline. The whole story takes place on Coney Island in a carnival. The main characters, Nicky and Julie, both work in the carnival. Julie is an aspiring singer and dancer. She dances the dance of the 7 veils. I can't help but wonder what happens to those 7 veils. Nicky, on the other hand, has grown up in the carnival, abandoned by his parents. He's raised by others in this carnival world. And now, as a young man, he's a barker. He's the one who stands in front of the tent or the trailer, calling people in to see the bearded lady, the rubber-skinned man, the 2-headed snake, the wonders of the universe. And he knows that the people he is calling in to spend their quarters are being fleeced. He knows that this is all fakery, they're phonies, and that's the life that he has lived. He knows that life is just a charade, that people are dishonest, they're unreliable, they break promises. Even when they say, I love you, they don't mean it. He is cynical, embittered, alcoholic. He has given up on love. He has given up on life. And then he meets Julie. And amazingly, he turns around and once again he has hope. He can see a future. And Julie loves him. And they are going to start a new life together as a song and dance team. They are going to be big on Broadway. And how are they going to do it? Julie has saved up $75. And Nicky is going to take that $75 and buy them a song. He's going to go to Tin Pan Alley and buy the best song he can for $75, and they are going to perform that song, and that's going to be their on-ramp to Broadway fame. Julie gives him the $75, and what he doesn't gamble away, he drinks. And so he can't buy any song, but he can't tell Julie this. He's trying to build a lifetime relationship with her. And even though everybody at the carnival knows that he's a faker and a phony, just like everything else, he has hope for his relationship with Julie. And so he writes a song because he couldn't buy one. Now, when the authors of this play, this is Ben Hecht and his co-writer, Gene Fowler, when they got to that point in the story, they realized they needed a song. So, you know, they're writers, they write a song. And they show the script to the producer. The producer of this play, the Great Magoo, is none other than the famous Broadway producer, Billy Rose, himself a lyricist. Billy Rose takes a look at the song that they wrote, and he says, "You guys are not songwriters, and this is not a song. I'll get you a song." And so he hires two up-and-coming, well, they're beyond up-and-coming, they're becoming established songwriters. They've had some hits. Harold Arlen is writing songs for the Cotton Club in 1932, when this play is about to be debuted. In 1932, that's the year he wrote Stormy Weather. Joe's got a story about stormy weather, but you have to wear a raincoat. And Yip Harburg, as a lyricist, 1932 was the year that he wrote Brother, Can You Spare a Dime, the anthem of the Great Depression. So Billy Rose hires these two guys. He says, "I need a song." Well, they're busy. They've got other projects, but you don't turn down Billy Rose. And now they're confronted with a problem. They've got this sad, cynical, embittered character who's going to write and sing a love song to this aspiring singer-dancer who's not going to make it. But she doesn't know that yet. How are they going to write a love song? And they realize that the key ingredient here is having faith in the other person. And so they write a song which they entitle, If You Believed in Me. Yes, there's all this fakery. Yes, there's this phoniness. But everything would be okay if you believed in me. That was the idea for the song. The Great Magoo, Ben Hecht's Broadway play, 1932, set Broadway records. In only 8 days, 11 performances, that's including matinees, it closed. Now, some people said that the reason it didn't succeed was because the play running in the theater next door, a musical starring Ethel Merman called Take a Chance, it was such a huge success. The theater goers just walked right past the Great Magoo and headed to the theater to see Take a Chance. Take a Chance was so successful, they rushed it to Hollywood, made it into a movie. They dropped most of the songs from the original show, but they imported that song from the Great Magoo, If You Believed in Me. Well, the movie didn't do so well, but the song became the theme for the movie. It was recorded by the Paul Whiteman Orchestra, and since then, it's been recorded by everybody from Paul Whiteman to Paul McCartney, from Nat King Cole to Natalie Cole, from Count Basie to Barbara Streisand. Quite a popular tune. 1947, Tennessee Williams wrote A Streetcar Named Desire. And there's Blanche, the Southern belle, who pretends to be wealthy, pretends to be popular, but in fact has lost the family fortune and been fired from her job. But she wants to be respected. She wants to be popular. And in the course of that play, she sings little snippets of that same song, If You Believed in Me, because she wants the world. In spite of all of her flaws and losses, she wants the world to believe in her. The song shows up again in a Japanese novel, a science fiction novel, where there's a fake world with 2 moons. And this couple of kids who knew each other as children and connected strongly, but then were separated, and for decades they're looking for each other, and they finally find each other in this fake world. And once reunited, they're able to return. This song is quoted at the beginning of every chapter, a different little segment of the song. And then, this is your homework assignment tonight, folks. Because, especially if you have Netflix, find Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Doesn't matter if you never heard of this before. Season 7, Episode 10. The episode bears the name of this song. And it's all about believing in somebody, even though most people don't. I'd like to tell you the details of that series, but since you can watch it for homework, we'll pass for now. Now, when you find it there, you'll see the episode title doesn't have the name, If You Believed in Me. That's because when they brought the song into the movie, Take a Chance, they changed the title. So you have to know the name of the song in order to find the right episode. And maybe you've figured out what song it is at this point. If you haven't, maybe you'll recall a 1973 film that has the same title as the title of this song. It's one where Tatum O'Neal won an Oscar as Best Supporting Actress, the youngest person ever to receive an Academy Award. And if you still haven't figured it out, the song goes like this. Say it's only a paper moon sailing over a cardboard sea. Wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Say it's only a canvas sky hanging over a muslin tree. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. Without your love, it's a honky-tonk parade. Without your love, it's a melody played in a penny arcade. It's a Barnum and Bailey world, just as phony as it can be. But it wouldn't be make-believe if you believed in me. If you believed in me. It's Only a Paper Moon, Yip Harburg and Harold Arlen, 1932. You might know about Harold Arlen and Yip Harburg. They wrote the song of the century. The one song out of all the songs of the 20th century that made the list #1. That's the song Over the Rainbow. But for better or for worse, that's another story.